talk depression. That's what the World Health Organization and health officials across the globe are hoping to get people to do. Not just people living with the disease, but all of us, so that more people with depression can seek out and get help. Now, this is not a novel effort, but one that health officials like Nurse Eleanor Bennett of the Mental Health Unit in Belize have identified must be a continuous process.
Here in Belize and a lot of places in the world, people don't talk about mental health. It's something we sweep under the rug. It's very easy for us to run to the doctor if we have a broken leg and a broken arm. But if we have broken thoughts, disturbed sleep, or we're thinking things that are negative, we don't run to the doctor. We need to start to talk about that. We need to normalize talking about mental health issues. It affects so many people in the world.
Depression is an illness characterized by persistent sadness and a loss of interest in activities that you normally enjoy, accompanied by an inability to carry out daily activities for at least 2 weeks. It can be mild, moderate, or severe. But the most important thing to note is that it is treatable. Well-known educator and singer Nolita Castillo knows all too well how much this disease can debilitate the simplest of joys in life. But luckily, 25 years ago, she was diagnosed and began to be treated for the disease.
It started out with my losing interest in everything, not wanting to work, and an extreme, overwhelming fatigue. And the sort of fatigue where you sleep, but you don't rest. The mind can't shut down. The mind is giving you all sorts of unfortunate and negative messages. Just everything is bad. You are a bad person. You're sad for no reason. Or maybe you have a reason, but you blow it way out of proportion. I dealt with it over a couple of months, and I guess I'm very good about, like, if I am feeling bad, I'm not going to take it out on you. You see? So my treatment of others remained the same. So they wouldn't have known unless I said something. It's like a train wreck, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And finally, you are so mentally exhausted that you can't function. And that's what happened. I went into my kitchen to get breakfast, and I melted. I ended up sitting on the floor. Just melted. You just melt into a heap of tears, you know. Mm-hmm. And I called my brother, and he came, and he said, I have to go get somebody for you.
Her brother returned with a psychiatrist, and until then, Nolita was diagnosed with depression and anxiety and began her treatment. 25 years ago, there was a lot of stigma about seeing a mental health professional, but Nolita says no one could stop her from trying to feel better.
People said to me, why are you going? You're not crazy. Why, put those things behind you. And well, that's exactly why I'm going to the psychiatrist, because I can't put those things, whatever things, because all of us, whether we want to admit it or not, have issues. I traveled, did what I wanted to do, and then why the sadness? To me, I had but that's what the psychiatrist helps you with. It's perceptions, not realities. It's things that you experienced in your childhood, and maybe your take on it was not what people were doing. What I learned was that nobody did me anything. Nobody set out to hurt me or humiliate me. It was just my sensitivity wrapped up with everything that occurred. I remember her telling me, this will not go away. This is obviously something chemical in your system, but I'm going to teach you how to live with it, how to deal with it, how to look for your triggers, and what behaviors are good. And one of the most important things is to keep yourself occupied. You can live a full, productive life, be content, watch the birds, the sea, and enjoy it, because that's what depression does. It saps your your desire for doing anything, your enjoyment of it. It just sucks the life out of you. And if you are treated, then you can be happy, you can be content, you can work, you can play, you can socialize, because that's another thing. You want to withdraw, and that's the worst thing for you. Because it's when you are alone that those messages start to come back. I call them the jackals of the mind. It's like you have tigers in your head and they're going, you know. So that's what people have to. You don't have to.
Nolita says over the years, she's learned to differentiate between perceptions and reality. She avoids environments that she knows may trigger her depression. She openly shares her story with others as she wants them to know that you can live a full, productive life and be content. She and Nurse Bennett agree that sharing her story and those of others can literally save lives.
We want people to start to talk. I mean, the stigma is huge here in Belize, in our little society where everybody knows each other. However, the only way people can stop suffering in silence is to talk about it. I will even go out on a limb to say many of the social issues we have can be tied to mental health issues. But people don't talk. And I know people know this. If you make it normal for you, then the other person is going to make it normal for them, and so on. And so we hope to create a situation where it spreads. Just talk about what's going on.
What was it like to finally be diagnosed with depression?
A great sense of relief. A great sense of relief. I can't imagine someone not knowing and feeling these things, especially if I wasn't married, I didn't have children to attend to, but it is terrifying. And if you have children to attend to and you have to feed them and you don't want to get out of bed. And that's what people need to know, that it's A, not their fault, and B, there's something that you can do. There's help to be had out there, and especially now. Especially now.
The Ministry of Health offers free counseling with trained professionals in every district. You simply have to visit your local public health clinic, or in Belize City, the Cleopatra White or Port Loyola clinics.